Okay, look, I don't know what's going on with me, and I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm special. I'm not. But I cut myself earlier today, and I know it wasn't that deep of a cut. Oh, I gotta cut my nails too. I'm sorry. I noticed that every time in a video. Um, no, but it's weird. Like this morning, and I know you're people are gonna be like, "No, you're a liar." Okay, well, obviously, I've already posted that video of me cutting myself. No, I deleted that video. I look, it doesn't matter. I'm making these videos. This video will be for me. Okay, I'll make it private, and Joe, JJ, JJ, JBJ. No, you know what's funny? I was actually considering going by my middle name, Vaslav, and I told my wife that because I was like, yo, like my middle name is so common in the Czech Republic, but like here in the US, it's like you're like, what, Vaslav? What do you mean Vaslav? And plus, I don't look Czech, like the typical Czechoslovakian. So I think it'd be cool to go by Vaslav. Maybe I'll go by Vaslav if I go to Russia ever, like if hypothetically if I get invited to Russia just to visit by I mean, you know what? I wouldn't mind. That would be kind of cool, but um actually, here, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. But long story short, on this cut, I feel like my body heals really quickly, and I just want to document that. That's all I was trying to say. Um, no, but I had a friend. So like, I used to work at Loomis. Shout out to Loomis Fargo. Or no, now it's just Loomis. But I used to be an ATM tech, and I had like, dude, like I love working with like different people every day, because like so I was in charge of I had my own like route, I guess, like where I was in charge of the truck, and then I would have two people that usually like it was rotating always because people were always trying to like promote, or like that was a stepping stone to get into like basically all like the law enforcement jobs basically. So but I did it for like, what did I do it for? I think 2 years. I did it for like a little longer than most people do it for, because I actually didn't make it. I didn't get hired by Metro the first time I applied. Like I went through the process and failed, and then I had to go. I wait or no no no. And then I tested for. I tested for both. I tested for the police PO and then CO, and then I didn't. I got neither. And then I had to. And then I retested again for PO, and then I got it. Or I made the academy or whatever. I guess that's what you say. Yeah, well, like you get notified. I don't remember. I think they call you. I forget how it was, dude. I know it was only in 2008. No, that was in 2007, because they tell you, yeah, they tell you like 6 months ahead of time. No, it wasn't 6 months ahead of time, but they tell you in advance, because I remember like they give you your ranking too, because they it's like a score. So even like before you get hired per se, like no, before you actually even go to the academy, you get to know like your ranking in the class, I guess. I guess you know what? I should have been smarter and like figured out the names of everybody, and then like figured out like stuff about them. Like if I could go back in time, that's probably what I would do. But then that's like taking it too far. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. No, so I worked at Loomis Fargo, and I enjoyed that. Because like I got to run the route. It was kind of like it was like my route and my truck, which I actually really appreciated that. What was my truck number? 27. Yeah, 2070. Shout out to truck number 2070. That used to be mine. That used to be my, I don't even know. It wasn't mine, but um no, but no, with the point of what there, like so there's a lot of military dudes, there's a lot of dudes that come through the system, or go through Loomis. Like so I met a bunch of really cool dudes is what I'm saying. A lot of military guys, and then I remember one guy, he would always tell me, he'd be like, "Yo," he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Bro," he's like, "You need to go to Ukraine." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Why the fuck do I need to go to Ukraine?" He's like, "No, no, no, no." He's like, "Look, dude, it's not that expensive. You get over there, it'll be super cheap. You'll party for days, and you'll be like, how did I not spend like I spent like $30?" I thought I'm like I'm pretty sure he was exaggerating, but and then he's like, and then the other thing is he's like, you got that shock value with the women. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you have this look that they don't see guys that look like you. You're just like the opposite of what all the guys look like. So you automatically will be at the front of the line for everything when it comes to women. And I'm like, what? Like seriously, like they'll like me just because of how I look. I'm like, I've always had the opposite shock value. Like women are like, ah, and he's like, no, no, no. He's like, dude, he's like, nah. He's like, you're just in the wrong place, bro. And I was like, ah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I do. I appreciate that, and I think that like I'm slowly making my way to the place where I think I'm meant to be. And I think I am meant to be like I just love women. I do. I love being around them. I really do. I mean, even with the things that like I've subjected my wife to, like I feel like look, we're both equally to blame for being rude to each other, and I'm the first to admit that I just like sex is a big deal to me. I enjoy it a lot. I told her I was like, look, why do I have to feel guilty that like if I could, I would have at least I would have sex at least like 4 times a day, probably 5 times a day. I'm just saying like why is that like should I should stop bullying myself into thinking that anything I feel is wrong. I mean, like what's wrong with that? What if there's a woman out there that wants to have sex with me 5 times a day? Like that's all I'm saying. And I believe that that exists. I really do because I just want to. Even if it doesn't even if that person doesn't exist, I want to believe that that she exists. I really do. Or maybe even if she doesn't exist, she was like cool enough and like secure enough to be like, "Yo, my hubby, he wants to come 5 times a day. It's all good, like I mean, let's find a woman that like wants to have a baby with him too. Like, you know what I mean? Like what like if my wife was that secure, I think I would dude, I don't even know what I would do. It would be insane. Like I would just be like, "Wait, did I die and go to heaven?" Like, you know, no, I'll shout out to no, I don't. No, I'm gonna stop shouting out people. But I'm just saying like that's why I like to think of things like even after you die because I was like, "You know what? Well, what if you experience whatever you believe to happen. So, like, what if it really is just a matter of what you believe to be true ends up coming true for you on the other side of that mirror, that mirror known as like death, I guess, or that moment when you die, right? That moment. Is that why women? Is that why women like eye contact during sex? No, no, no. Like I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, do you like are you able to see into my soul? Like you don't have to answer the question. I'm just like hypothetically, I'm like I'm thinking about what someone said to me that I find very attractive. She said it on her like here's the thing. This is what I realized. You don't have to speak directly to me. Like if you post something and I've been following you for years, like I know whether it's like related to something I'm working on or maybe it's not or maybe I'm just conceited. I'm just saying like sometimes I feel like people make videos specifically for me, and I appreciate that. And I do the same. All I'm saying is, if I make videos specifically for people, then I think it's reasonable to believe that other people might make videos specifically for me. I mean, that's possible. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I want to believe. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to believe. Okay, this is almost 10 minutes. I enjoy speaking to you. I really do. No, my question was, no, this is, I mean, obviously, there's no way like anyone can really. No, I'm just curious about the eye contact because I realized I'm like, um, it's weird to actually talk about this. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm gonna try to push through this awkward moment. But what if there was something too, like when you're intimate and when you come, like the eye contact at that moment, like it's 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 deep. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's I feel like women can see into your soul somehow. I don't know how to explain it. I think that with the very few women that I've been with in my life, when I come and I'm looking in her eyes, it feels like she can see me, who I am inside, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain it. That's all that's the best I can do. Okay, let me just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. I can't explain myself very well. You know, that's my problem probably my whole life, is that I've just been really incapable of expressing myself in words in a way where other people can understand me correctly, or understand me, excuse me, specifically in how I'm trying to portray the idea, is what I'm saying. Like sometimes I think maybe it is good that I haven't changed much, is what I'm saying. Like this is water. Okay, I need to hydrate. Um I don't know. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I haven't. I think I've changed, but I have, but I haven't. I think I'm saying that I'm the same silly son of a bitch I was when I was a kid. I really am. Like I'm just silly. If someone was like, use one word to describe yourself, I think I am silly. 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 Wireless. Wild. Well, no, I like saying words backwards. I don't know if that's weird. Like some, I don't know. Like that's how I remember things too. No, okay. So now I'm just being random. So like sometimes I do like to say the name of something backwards just to see if it does anything. Like ninja, AJ nin, AJ nine, nine, AJ nine. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Ah, and then turtles is seal, cell, trut, rut, cell, trut, cell, trut, C, S, eel. Well, I have to try different ways too. I'm like, no, because I realized the plate, like sometimes, when you read plates, it's like you have to read it as if it's like, like eight could be eight, hate, like it could be, like, I'm just saying there, people use the sound in different ways. No, and this goes back to Loomis, like, because there was a dude, he was a super cool dude. I forgot his name, but I remember his license plate was Fireflies, um, because he wanted to be a firefighter. That's what he said, and he said that fire it flies. But I think maybe his wife just liked fireflies, and he was just like trying to make it sound cool. No, I don't know. I don't know. No, he was a super good dude. I wonder if he actually ever became a firefighter. I hope he did. Like he was a good dude. His wife was cool too. I remember I hung out with them. I think a few times, or maybe just once. I don't remember, but I went to his house and it was actually very enjoyable. Like I remember that were I mean she was they were both like really honest, like just real people. Like I appreciated that aspect. I really did. There was a lot of people I've met over the course of my life, that are just that have been super fucking awesome people. Like I remember my mother and I went to Puerto Rico, and even we had this hotel, like we had a hotel, but like I remember she told me that this was like when I was older, because I didn't really remember everything, I guess. No, it's weird. Like I remember, but it's not like I'm always just looking at the next thing or focused on the next thing. So I feel like my brain just like dumps information, like where I'm just like it's like I'm consuming information, but I'm like throwing old information away. But I'm like this is important stuff. I should like talk about it, at least document it, put it on my YouTube channel so I can remember it. And I think that's a lot of things too, is like I need to stop deleting videos. Like I've been deleting videos and I'm like, well, what if I just want to watch that like down the road? So I'll stop deleting them. No, but some of them I'm like, do this. No, because sometimes I'm just an asshole. I realize I'm just rude. I'm just rude and disrespectful. But I'm glad I don't like make it public, you know. And I get it. I know if even if you make it private, I know like there's a certain percentage of people that can watch it, obviously, even though it is private, because like I mean, there's like a server, right? You either like you could hack in there, hack into it, and like watch it, or you have the privilege of being in a position in YouTube where you can watch private videos. Like I'm sure there's people in like the IT section or whatever. I don't know how tech works. Is the whole company IT? Like I don't know, like because there's no like a physical YouTube. Like I mean, no, I mean like there's no. I'm serious. This healed so well. Like I cut myself this morning, literally this morning. And I know it wasn't like a super bad cut. It wasn't like I got like it wasn't like I could see the fat. Like oh I could it was getting borderline. Like so this one sorry, focus. This one like I hit the bone. No, I hit something because I felt it. I was like sometimes I put too much force into the knife like the thing I was cutting through. I was trying to cut through the zip tie, and I understand I was holding it wrong. Like usually, like here's the thing. This I learned from multiple times cutting myself is like you cut away from yourself, right? So if I have the item in this hand and I have my knife, so pretend the phone is my knife. So like I cut away, right? I cut like that way. But what happened was I was just trying to use leverage. I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was just like, oh, I get the zip tie, and then like I soon I knew because I was like I just used too much force, and immediately that moment I knew, and then it was like I couldn't take it back, and then I felt it hit my bone, or I felt something. I don't know what happened, but I felt it hit something. Like I didn't stop. And then I remember the doctor told me he was like he's like, yeah, if it was just like that much slightly if you would have went like a just like a slight bit further, I would have hit the nerve and then I would have lost the ability to move this finger. That's what he said. That's what he told me. He's like, yeah, you would have lost the ability to go like this if you would have hit that nerve. And I was like, really? I'm like, that's fucking insane, bro. I don't know why these things happen to me. And then I got in a car accident with my boy Anthony Stevens. Shout out to you, sir. He's a good, very, very good man. Dude, I almost got him killed. The accident, I made a big deal about that accident, but he was on the side where the impact occurred. Like he took the brunt of that impact. He was the fucking superhero, bro. He's like Superman. That guy is Superman. I got cut on the fucking that laptop. Like so we used to have it was like sharp. Like it was a metal box and then the laptop sat on top. But the problem is like yeah, in like a collision that like metal box is going to move towards you obviously cuz the car is crumpling. So it like literally sliced my fucking arm. Like and then I had a bunch of glass in or not a bunch. It was a couple pieces like okay, two small pieces. All right, I'm sorry. There was like a piece of glass stuck in my arm and they didn't believe me. No, at first I felt it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? And so then I went back because they were like, yeah, no, 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 you're good or whatever. They cleared me, right? Because I had to have stitches, and then I had to have stitches on that cut, and then like I wanted to get back to work, so I just I had I dude, I was no, I probably shouldn't say this, but I cut the stitches out myself. I took them out myself way early just because I wanted to get back to work. And so it just stretched the skin out. So then the skin looked just fucking disgusting on my arm, but they cleared me. And then afterwards, like whatever, a few months afterwards, I was like, dude, what is in my arm? And then I went back in the x-ray. There's like, yeah, you got glass in your arm. And then so I had to have surgery to get the glass out. And I remember I talked to the doctor afterwards and I was like, yo, dude, I thought you said you were gonna save the glass for me. And then he's like, yeah, he's like, I told the nurse. He's like, I told the nurse she didn't give you the glass, like in the little vial thing. I was like, no. I was like, what the heck, dude? What, like, these women, why? Like that glass, I carried that glass in my arm, but I'd like to believe that she kept it for herself. And if that, I'm hoping she didn't throw it away. I really, really am hoping she just didn't throw that glass away because I'm like, that was in my arm from when I like nearly got my friend killed. That my coworker, he's my friend. He was my friend first, and then I worked with him too. Actually, you know what's funny is a lot of times people that I'm friends with, I'm like, I can't work with you, bro. I used to tell my wife that all the time. I used to be like, I know we're married or like we were dating. I was like, I know we're dating, but I couldn't work with you. I was like, I could not ever work with you. I was like, you're too much of a micromanager. Like I'm the type of person you gotta let me free. You gotta let me go out there and just like do my job. I will give you results, but you gotta let me just do what I gotta do. Like you can't just be watching every single thing I'm doing, telling me this is right and that's wrong. Like I can't operate that way. I can't be successful working when like someone is like literally like every 2 seconds saying like, okay, that was a good stroke, that's a bad stroke, this is a good stroke, that's a bad stroke. Like I can't do that. I gotta be like, yo, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, you gotta just leave me alone. Let me let me handle some business. And that was the thing too, like I get it, like when I left there was a lot of changes being implemented. Like they were tracking the cars. I think they were had been tracking the cars for like a decade, but they finally were acknowledging. They were just saying like, okay, like dispatch knows exactly where you are. That she knows who is actually going to the call, who's just like pulled over, who's like actually gives a fuck. Um, I'd like to believe that maybe the dispatcher saw that I was committed to going to calls and handling calls. I'd like to believe someone thought I was a good person. That's what I like to believe. All right, I'm gonna end this. Thank you. No, no, I'm ending it on a good note. I'm just saying, like, I think I was a good person. I do. I think I made a lot of mistakes. That's for sure. And like, I wouldn't even dare to say I didn't make a lot of mistakes or have made a lot of. I've made tons of mistakes. Are you kidding me? I made so many mistakes. It's unreal. But I think I've done some good things too. And I think I can come back from whatever it is that people say that I've done wrong. Like I'd like to believe that the past is kind of in the past and I can acknowledge that I've fucked up, but I mean, does that mean I shouldn't be able to like enjoy myself? Like, why can't I get remarried? Why can't I, you know, find someone who loves me and I love her and make babies? Like, what if I just want to make babies? Like, what if there was a such thing as a man having baby fever and I'm sorry, and maybe I just want to make some babies? Like, that's just life. I'm like, okay, like I'm a horrible person. That's fine. Now, can we move on and like realize that like you are pregnant and you can't make me a baby and I still want to have a baby girl. Like I do. I want to have a daughter. And I'm tired of waiting. I'm not going to fucking wait any longer. What if I want a son and a daughter born at the same time but from two different women? Is that like horrible? Like am I just that big of a piece of shit for wanting that and like wanting to work hard to raise both kids? Like does that make me that horrible of a man? Like I'm not saying they both have to marry me. I'm not even saying we have to like live together. I'm just saying like could we be like close by so I could see my kid? Like that's all I'm asking. Like I don't understand how this works. Like how does life work? Like why can't we just be civilized and I'll be like I would love to be a part of my child's life. I really would be. And if it's on your terms, that's fine. Okay? But at the same time, there's things I want to do too. There's things that I want to accomplish. Not things I want to do, things. Because, like, a woman is not a thing. I get it. I'm just saying, like, there are uh, experiences I want to have. And I want to have a daughter too. And I get it, Aaron. Maybe I'm just impatient and I'm a piece of shit. I get it. But, I mean, I'm okay with that. And maybe there's a woman or women out there that are okay with that too. Maybe they're like, you know what, this dude, I mean, he seems all right. I mean, he's not perfect, obviously, but no one is because if I'm looking for a woman that also feels the same way about herself. and says, you know what, I'm flawed too. I'm flawed, he's flawed. Let's make a baby. Or like, at least commit to saying, like my wife did that when she was before I met her. She told me this. She said her and Brian Todd committed to when she would turn 38, they would have a baby together. They both agreed to that. That was her plan. And I'd like to believe that maybe she would have considered allowing me to take his place. After all, I was her husband. I just thought maybe that would make a difference, if you were married to me. If I committed myself to you, if I dedicated half a decade to loving you, I thought maybe you would reciprocate. But even if you did, or even if you didn't, or maybe it's 100% solely my fault that I feel like you didn't reciprocate, even though you 100% did. That could be truth too, and this could be all in my head, me just pretending like my feelings matter. But they matter to me, and that's why I'm making this video for myself, so I could be like, yo, JJ, your feelings do matter, sir. Your feelings do matter. And if you don't feel like your wife loves you, well, then find some other people and surround yourself with those people. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe, who knows? Maybe the people that you think your your wife is with are actually pleasing her, and maybe she will be happy. And maybe the happiness that you wanted for her will actually be the happiness that's for you. I'd like to believe that. I'd like to believe that everything that I've been committing myself to, everything that I've been developing and wanting to be better for, will end up being like a mirror, will be the person who has done the same for me. Like, that's what I believe. I believe that. I do. I know the Bible says that whole like one rib, like a woman is your rib. I believe that. I really do. I think there is a woman out there. I think there's a lot of women that you're compatible with. Like, I think there's a lot of women that you could probably spend the rest of your life with and enjoy being with and have a child with and raise a family with and just experience life with. But that I also feel like there is one specific person on the planet that was like literally made, created for you, your other half. Like when people say that that's my other half, I believe that's true. There's a such thing. I believe that there is a woman that will complement me so well that it literally will feel like I've been waiting my whole life to be with her. Huh. Huh. I just I can't help but feel deja vu sometimes, you know? And I get it, the whole reference in the Matrix, deja vu is a glitch in the Matrix, but it's also a strip club, okay? Shout out to Deja Vu on Broadway in San Francisco. I remember I went there with my friends when I turned 18, and it was funny because I walked in and I made eye contact with this one woman. She was absolutely gorgeous. I don't remember her name, but they all use fake names anyway. And I couldn't stop looking in her eyes. And she finally came over and she's like, "Do I know you?" And I was like, I I think so, but I don't remember how we met. And then I remember she like stared into my eyes for like a long time. And I don't remember what happened after that, but um it was true. It was like sometimes when I'm going through an experience, like I feel like I've experienced like a variation of the same thing, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like I'm walking through an experience that I've already experienced somehow. And I'm like, maybe I just don't, maybe we don't, maybe I don't understand. Maybe I don't. I can't speak for anyone. Maybe I don't understand like life and death. When I was younger, like my mother was a nurse, and I did see a lot of people as they were in the later stages of their life. And I've been around a lot of people who were either passing or have passed. And so I look at that as not necessarily negative, but just as a part of life. And I'm thinking like, what if life what is like just a spring? Like it just keeps going circling and circling, like, but it's all connected somehow. Like I don't know if that's making any sense. I'm probably not making any sense. Like I'm just saying like, what if death isn't really, what if people were worrying about like the part, like what if you have an ability to look with your eyes, right? Like in or to process information with your eyeballs, and you're worried about the moment that you lose when you blink, and you're like, okay, the blinking part is death. Well, do you really ever even like were like, are you like when you're watching a movie and you're like it's the best movie ever, like when I was okay like that okay, The Matrix was a super impactful movie for me. I was, what was I, a junior in high school. I took a summer class at a community college uh, on philosophy. Like I'm just saying, there's all these things like going on in my life. Like I just told you the story. I went to the strip club. Like it was just this very like interesting time in my life, and I learned a lot, and I enjoy thinking about those times, and I appreciate like even them doing like another Matrix. I'm so excited. Matrix Resurrection, bro. Like that is so crazy. I feel like I'm in high school again to a certain extent. Like I feel like somehow like reborn, I guess. I don't know. Born again. I don't know what I mean. Born again. It's like we people use that so much, but it's like there's some truth to it. I really do. I think every day we're born again. Every. I mean, how do we know that when you die, it's not just like you literally just waking back up, like Groundhog Day? I'm just saying, like, how do you know that's not really just how it works? I know in video game they call it respawning, right? But what if we do? What if you did respawn? Like, what if like I'm just saying, I don't know. What if whatever you want to believe is what becomes true for you? So the same way that I look forward to. I mean, some people are like, well, what about when you die? I believe when I die, all the people that I love will be waiting for me, and the people that I wanted to meet, who I maybe had a interest in being with, or I just we never got to the point where we could be together. Um, and if those people no longer are here, um, I'm hoping that when I'm no longer here, I will be with them. If that makes any sense, like I don't believe there's any unwinnable hand in life. I believe that if there's something that you wanted to experience in life and you didn't get to do it, I think it's waiting for you on the other side. I really believe that. I really do. I really do. I love you. And I hope to see you soon.